Hello, this is Radio Grange, and we are doing an interview with Mr. Kerbel on how he's going to reach 500 kilometers in his final lap.
Why did you decide to run 500 miles to raise money for our school? Was there a special reason behind this idea?
Okay, thank you for the question. It's a great question. Actually, you said 500 kilometers. It's 500 miles, which is 800 kilometers. And the reason behind it was, there's a famous song, which is quite old now. And in the song, it says, I would walk 500 miles just to be the man that would walk to your front door. So it's basically about somebody who really likes somebody else. And the thing is that they are prepared to do a lot for them. So that made me think, in my head, I've got that song, I would walk 500 miles. So I thought, all right, let me try and run 500 miles to raise money for Grange. And the reason I wanted to raise money for Grange is because we spend all our money on the teaching and the learning, but we need so much more in terms of trips and workshops, the kind of things that make learning so interesting and memorable. And those are the kind of things even I remember from my schooling. So that's where the idea came from. I would walk 500 miles. The problem is the song actually says I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more. I've only done 500, I haven't done 500 more. I'm not quite at 500 yet. I have another 12 miles to go, about another 20 kilometers to go, and that's what we're going to be doing on the playground in a moment.
How did you come up with the goal of raising £10,000? What will the money be used for?
So how did I come up with that goal? With that amount, the 10,000. Well, what I did is I asked all the teachers, I said, like, what are the trips that you're thinking of for the children of Grange, for your children in your class? And what are you dreaming of? What do you wish you could do? And the truth is, I had some ideas in my mind. I'd heard about this amazing construction workshop that I'd seen on the National Head Teacher WhatsApp group that I'm part of. So I basically looked at all these workshops and I looked at all these trips, and I got in all the feedback from the from the teachers who responded to me. And then I said, well, okay, let's take 10 of these trips and workshops. And then I costed them. And a lot of the costs were, for example, coaches, just like traveling because it's hard to get to the places, or paying for the people to come into our school. So I just estimated everything that I could in terms of how much these trips would cost and how much these workshops would cost, and then I put it down and totaled it all up, and it came to £10,000.
Okay, 500 miles is such a long way. How do you prepare for all that running? Do you have a special routine?
I don't have a routine so much. I think the hardest thing to do with running is that first step, is just getting going. I did start actually. I did stretch it. I do a bit of stretching beforehand, and mainly like just making sure that I feel okay, I feel positive, and then it's just about starting. So I always program my phone, which is the technology that I use. So I program it to say 10 kilometers, because usually that's the amount. Today I'm going to be running 20k, so I'll put in, or 21k, so I'll put it in. I program it into my phone, and then I think about whether I'm going to listen to specific music or whatever it is. And then I just get going. And it's always the first step that is the hardest, but then once one gets into a bit of a rhythm, then you just go.
What's been the hardest part of your challenge so far? Have you had any moments when you felt like stopping?
What's been the hardest part of the challenge? And that, I'm going to refer back to what I said before. The hardest thing is just always starting. So yes, often it's incredibly difficult. Am I actually going to run now? Yes, there are times, but once I get going, usually I'm just in a rhythm, and then I just go. So it's the start that's always the hardest.
Do you have a favorite time of day to run, or a favorite place where you like to go running?
The favorite time is just when I am actually running. I mean, it's always beautiful. I mean, when I run first thing in the morning, I mean, I've started sometimes in the dark and you can see the moon, and then you're running and it's getting lighter, and then by the time you get to the destination, it's all bright and light. I love looking at the clouds, the sunrise. But then sometimes when you're running in the dark, even that, you're passing people going home. You can feel the energy. Everybody's going home. So, and I run in the middle of the day sometimes, and the roads are quieter. There's always pluses to every specific time. Do I have a specific place I like to run? Well, in this challenge, it's been pretty much from home to school, from school to home. I know the route, I know the feeling. There's certain people I see, the same people on the route who like wave, smile, and just the landmarks. It's just always amazing.
What are some fun or unusual things you've seen or experienced during your runs?
So the funniest thing that ever happened was I was running along and I passed this mother on a bicycle, and she had a child on the front of the bicycle and she had a child on the back of the bicycle, and the child on the front of the bicycle was like quite little, maybe she was like 4 or something like that, and she said, "Oh mommy, beat that man." And I was like, really? And they were riding on the pavement as well, so I just started speeding up. And then they were shouting, "Mommy, go faster, beat this man." And I was like running really fast. Eventually they passed me and this little girl shouted, "Yay!" But I went for a long time, made me go much faster, but it was just very funny. I mean, but all sorts of things happen, and the nicest thing is when people smile at you. Members of our staff, so some of our teachers, educators, they drove past me, and then the one time I was running along and I heard this car hooting and shouting, "Mr. Kerbel!" And they were driving past, so they were like waving and hooting, and then everybody else in the traffic was just laughing and like watching and going, "What's going on? Why are they hooting? Why are they shouting?" And everybody was like waving, so it was quite funny actually.
How can we as pupils help you reach your goal? Are there ways we can get involved in the fundraising?
But the truth is, while I'm running, I'm thinking about all of you. When you are doing your best, when you're learning, when you're trying your hardest, when you're kind, it's like little things like that. I'm always thinking about that one. And then all the donations, different people have bought donations from their own pocket money, that kind of stuff has been so amazing. But even today, all of you in your sporty clothes, your sporty mufti, and I'm sure it'll be amazing out there. The only thing I'm nervous about is when I am running sometimes, it's happened a few times, especially as I'm coming close to school, is some of the little ones from like reception or nursery, they go, "Mr. Kerbel," and they run straight towards me, and then I have to like dodge and like so that I don't trip over them. So that's the only thing that slightly worries me, but even that is so lovely to see when people smile and are kind and interact with us. I think our school is a wonderful place, and just knowing our staff, our children, even this morning I was getting messages from staff members to say, like, wish you good luck and that kind of stuff. So that's lovely. That's how you can support me, it's just by being yourselves and being your best.
What do you hope pupils will get to experience with the money you're raising? Why are these trips and activities so important for us?
Learning isn't just somebody giving you information and then like writing it in your book or putting it in your memory. Learning is when things go into your head and into your heart, and I understand that. That's interesting. That sparks my curiosity. I want to find out more. Learning, to me, is not just learning facts, it's learning attitudes towards life, such as zest and curiosity and appreciation of beauty and excellence, all these kind of things, and growing your character. And the thing is, learning when your teacher tells you, that's amazing. Learning when you are doing a task in school, amazing. But sometimes when you have like a trip and you actually experience it, go somewhere else, and you're with your friends, it's just an amazing feeling, and those memories stay with you forever. One of the things with that virtual reality workshop was stargazing in Alaska. I mean, that's just incredible. I don't have the money to take everybody from the school to Alaska and go out there at night and look up at the stars, but with the virtual reality workshop, we are looking at the stars. And the things that I really want to do with this money is take the reception classes to the seaside. Not to the Lido, not to a fake seaside, but actually to the seaside. Because you never forget those kind of experiences.
How do you stay motivated to keep running, especially when the weather is bad or you're feeling tired?
That's a great question. It really is a great question. How do I keep motivated to keep running? How do you keep yourself motivated to make good choices, to do the right thing? I mean, for all of you studying, how do you keep yourself motivated to keep studying? So I just look wherever I can get motivation. So when I see somebody who's trying really hard, I think, wow, that's amazing. I want to be part of that, you know, like, so when I see people doing well in our school, I kind of feel, yeah, I try to focus on positive things. When things are worrying me or I'm tired, whatever it is, I think, yes, okay, that's how I'm feeling, but I can do something about it. I can still make a start. I can still make that first step. I can get in my rhythm, and once I'm in my rhythm, I'm going. So I'm looking always for where I can get motivation from so many different things, so many amazing things I think I see every day with people, just kindness, making good choices, doing great things. And then every now and then people will say something really nice to me, and I try to appreciate that and try and put that inside myself. So, same for you. If a teacher says to you, I really appreciate the effort that you've made here.
Do you listen to music or anything else while you run? If so, what's your favorite song or playlist?
So it's a great question. This is my favorite and nothing else. I often can change and be interested in so many different things. At times, if you just asked me what's my favorite genre, my favorite type of music, probably be classical music, and I do put that on sometimes. Sometimes it's not my favorite, but Pavarotti and opera, sometimes I put that on, and that just helps me to run. When he's singing, O Solo Mio and stuff like that, I just love that. I just pound it. But then sometimes, for example, Bob Marley, I love that. I put that on and just so feel good. And sometimes I just experiment, because I'll just look on Spotify and I'll see what playlists they're recommending. Sometimes I'll just, they have already playlists like great tracks for running, and I'll use those. But then another thing I do sometimes is my brothers and myself, they live in other parts of the world, so they leave me long voice notes, and I leave long voice notes for them. So sometimes I'll just listen to their message, could even be like a 20-minute plus message while I'm running, and then sometimes I even will respond while I'm running. I'll just hold the phone and I'll just talk into it. So music, yeah, it's great, but I wouldn't say one particular type of music. Just feel the mood and go with what's on the day I feel like listening to.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to take on a big challenge like yours?
Focus on getting that first step. Now for me, it's literally that first step. It's like I program my phone, I say 10 kilometers running, and then I press start. It goes 3, 2, 1, and then I start running. It's just that first step. And so whatever your challenge is, just do it, just be it, just go for it, and just make that start. Because once you get past that start, then get in the rhythm. But I would say that's the important thing about rhythm. Don't go too fast. Like on the daily mile track, sometimes when I run with the children and I say 3, 2, 1, and then everybody sprints, and then half a lap, and they're all exhausted and they're all stopping. And I didn't sprint at the start, but I keep going because it's that rhythm. So that's my advice. Make a start, get in a rhythm.
Okay. When you finally reach 500 miles, how do you plan to celebrate? Will we get to celebrate with you?
So that's the nice thing, is I think, looking at the time, I think you guys will be in your break time, in lunchtime, so in the playground. So when I finish, I'll just, you can just come say hi, and you can say nice. And I don't know, it's like a funny feeling. Like I don't want to think about that too much, like celebrating. I rather just want to do it, and then afterwards I'll use it as motivation for the next thing. So I'll kind of think, yes, I did that. That was great. How can I keep growing? How can I keep going? Like I'll look at the next thing, the next challenge that will come, because challenges just come all the time. Even this is a challenge I chose, but other challenges come that I might not necessarily have chosen.
If you could take part in any of the trips or activities the money is funding, which one would you choose and why?
Oh my goodness. So it's going to depend on my calendar and diary. I mean, the VR workshops, I want to get in there and definitely experience a bit of that. The Verulamium Museum, which is the first one we booked, I would love to go on that because I haven't been to that one, and that was one of the ones about it. There's the Kepler workshop with the construction, and that just sounds so amazing because that's our teamwork. I mean, we're going to take our whole hall, and for 3 days, everybody is going to participate in building this amazing edifice, this amazing construction, and I just want to be part of that as well. So pretty much the reception going to the seaside. Which are the ones? Kew Gardens is always, oh my gosh, and the difficult thing about Kew Gardens is we're going with some of the smaller children in the school, and that's why I wanted to raise funds so that they could go on buses, on coaches, rather than the tube, which is very stressful with little children.
What would you say to someone who's thinking about donating to your cause but hasn't done it yet?
I'm going to say, whatever they give is appreciated. So don't feel any stress. Just first of all, even by being a little bit interested, by saying some nice words of support, by caring about our school, even that is great support. Anybody who gives £1, £2, you know, every little gesture. I'm going to say right at the beginning when we started this whole challenge, the first person who donated was a head teacher, a fellow head teacher. And I remember thinking, wow, that's amazing. It wasn't about the amount, about the fact that somebody went, I care about you, I'm inspired by you, I appreciate. And actually, the first few donations were all from head teachers. So that was amazing. So I'd say to anybody, all support is appreciated, whatever it is, it's appreciated. So thank you everybody. And yeah, if you give, it's going to help with deep and rich learning for the children of Grange, and the children of Grange are going to grow up and make our world a better place because they're all going to live their best lives through the power of PB Personal Best. So be great, be Grange. CC salute. I am feeling a bit nervous because I need to go out now and I haven't actually completed it yet, and I think that's important, completion.
Thank you for letting us interview and good luck on your personal best.
Well done, Mr. Kerbel. You're doing an amazing job. You're nearly there. You've nearly beat your personal best. We're so proud of you. Keep going.
Well, keep going. It's a wonderful thing that you're doing. A lot of kids are inspired by your actions. Thank you for doing so much for Grange, and keep going. Well done.
Kerbel, what can I say? You are a marathon god. We're so proud of you at Grange. Keep up the good work. You've done so much for the kids with so many trips.
Mr. Kerbel, you've done a fantastic job for over the last few weeks. Thank you for raising all this money for Grange.
Mr. Kerbel, you're nearly done. Keep going.
21, 2 hours and 8 minutes.
She went. Done this 500-mile challenge. Grange is also doing a Healthy Schools Award. You've also just had your daily mile track put in, and I can see that it's been put to good use. But I also have some really exciting news, which I'm not sure you know about yet. That you have been offered a place in the London Marathon for next year. And we actually have our representative from London Marathon Events recording this, and this is going to be shared far and wide, so everyone knows what's happening at Grange.
Best present ever. I'm going to run with a big Grange across. And whoever comes along the side of London, it's just the London Marathon. I did it once. The first time I didn't know what I was doing, but I always dreamed to be able to do it again. What an amazing opportunity. Yeah, incredible.
Congratulations.
Can I take some tune with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to.
Miss Joshi.
And also,
Miss Joshi is an amazing organizer. So Miss Joshi, maybe we can organize a Grange trip on the day.
That would be nice.
And then I'll do that one sec, because I'm going to get Miss Joshi to organize, and we can have some Grange kids like lining the London Marathon, and then we can I can give you a high five.
Yeah, that would be great.
I would also like to present Mr. Kerbel with this certificate. So for doing 500-mile challenge, that is yours. And
going up in my office.
The final pièce de résistance.
Can I say, all of you at Grange together, it was amazing, because that was some of the nice things when I was running from home to school, and then I ran past people, I saw Grange people on Kenton Road, I saw them all over the place, and then even, where's Maria? Remember you ran with me toward the end? You and Daria and Anastasia, you ran with me, and Robin and Mum. So brilliant. It's all because of you guys. You have a question. Hala's got a question. So, I had something, what's it about? I think I was talking to my nephew about this. Actually, I think I was in America at that particular point. I was talking to my nephew, who's now actually really into running. And he said something like, well, what about if you run 500 miles in the first school term? And it's a brilliant idea. And I thought, yes, run 500 miles, but we're going to run 500 miles, got to make it worthwhile.
Well done. I don't have any word for you. Really, you are the great person. You are the great, and you are lovely. You inspire everyone.
Mr. Kerbel, all the best on completing your marathon run. Keep up the good work. Keep inspiring. CC.
Hey, well done, Mr. Kerbel.
This is mega epic. What an inspiration.
Well done, well done. We're so proud of you. I'm at Grange School.
Well done, Daniel. You're an inspiration to us all. What next, I wonder?
Thank you for working so hard to help us, and fun trips and some exciting activities. We are all cheering for you.
Keep going, Mr. Kerbel. Every step you're making is making a difference for the school.
Your hard work inspires us to dream big. Thank you for being a really big role model.
I'm proud of you, Mr. Kerbel. You inspire us that we can do anything if we set our minds.
Like a superhero, running to make our school better. Keep going, you're awesome.